You're so big. Oh my goodness. The young girls. Good morning. Yes. Little girls are so big. Last night I came out to see them because I hadn't seen them in 2 weeks, and I was thinking from the window they looked pretty big, so when I came out a little bit later, they were all in bed, and they were all on the roost except for one of the reds. But these young ones have taught the big ones how to roost, and they really are looking like they're so close to looking like full-size chickens. They're much closer to the older girls' size, and even just watching them all interact, they still seem to be kind of sticking to two groups, and they're still definitely a bit skittish. But the fact that they all just came out here together, and yeah, there's definitely a bit of games still being played, but I think that they've become a bit more of a consistent flock. Hi, yes, come on. Come on out. Maybe I'll give you guys a bit more food. Oh, there's some in there for now. Good morning, everyone. And while we've been away, I think there's been at least a few eggs that are small laid by the youngins. I'm gonna guess the smallest one here. That doesn't quite have a full crown yet. The other two have about a half crown. I'm gonna guess it's those two bigger ones that have laid. Yeah, they're looking a lot more robust, I guess is the word I'm looking for. A lot more mature. There's Fatma and Linda and Emine. I hope you've been nice. And then our young girls. Yes, I'm so proud of you. Yeah, I was getting updates from my mom. She was taking care of them while we were away. And, oh, hi. Do I taste good? Do I have bugs? But yeah, it's crazy how big they are. Wow. Anyways, yeah, she was getting pretty much 3 eggs a day from these 3. And then every now and then, like about halfway through our trip, she was suddenly getting a 4th egg, and every now and then. So yeah. You look pretty much the same size as the other ones. This one's probably the most mature one. I'm gonna have to figure out, I mean, she's still got the tail, and the other two are still a bit of nubbins, but so I can tell them apart for now, but I'm gonna have to make sure I pay attention and be able to differentiate them. Ah, they're so lovely. Giving them a little bit of pats now. But yeah, it's crazy seeing them all. Are you still a butt chaser? Oh, you're not the butt chaser. Yeah, I guess they're starting to get their tails hopefully back soon. You guys are a much more cohesive group. Oh, yeah, still a butt picker. Yeah, so while we were away, probably about, I think 6 or 7, no, maybe more. I don't know. I'm gonna go have a look at the eggs my mom collected. I told her not to bother washing any of them, just put them in cartons outside the fridge. So, oh my, we'll go have a look and see how your eggs are looking. It's definitely your eggs. Oh, maybe a little bit of your eggs? Probably not so much yours. She's still got a bit of a pink crown and it's still small, but she was the smallest little baby, and you're getting big too, my brave little girl. Oh my god, I love them. I miss them. It's so fun. We were telling people in Turkey, like different friends we met, we were telling them about, I mean, there's no other way to describe where I live. We were telling them we lived in a village. I mean, here it might be considered a town, but there's not a lot of people, like just over 1,000 people that live here. So we were calling it a village and telling them that we have chickens. And I mean, to people that live in a big city with huge populations, like Istanbul being 20 million people and even his hometown being over 2 million, like, yeah, this is a village. And it's a weird kind of alternate life compared to the people in big cities in a whole different country. So, happy to be back to my village. I came out here last night. I took a little tour of the garden, which we'll go have a peek actually, but I just was happy to be back. It was like my happy little farm life. Had a big smile on my face coming back here. Obviously a trip resets your mind a bit, but I was just glad to be back. And my cats too, after petting so many street cats, and I'm like, they have a great life, the street cats in Turkey. Like, I mean, for the most part, you know, there's some that look beaten up, but for the most part, the street cats, I think, get taken care of, and they're free every day. So I think, you know, it's a different kind of life for a cat, but I think how much the freedom must be nice for them just to get to do whatever they want every day. But I think in a sense, my cats need to understand they have it good because they get fed, they get shelter, they don't have to worry about all those other things, and they do get, you know, some sense of freedom when I take them out. As best as I can do for them. Okay, chickies. Off we go. No more blabbering from me. I'll bring you some treats later, whatever I can find, okay? I almost forgot to check for eggs, but we have got 1 and 2. 2 eggs. I always take a peek in there in case one of the new ones laid somewhere in the middle, but I don't think so. So that's a good start to our morning, 7:30. You know what? This one here feels like a double. Look how big it is. Kind of hard to tell, but definitely a big egg. So might have a double on our hands, which is very impressive every time I see it. I don't know how you guys do that, but good on ya. You're very consistent and very strong layers. Alright, now just gonna do a quick walk out to the garden to show, but this probably would be one of the last garden scenes, because as you can see, this might just be chicken snacks at this point. Squirrel snacks, really. I think it's been rather picked through by the squirrels. I mean, I didn't insist my mom take good care of it because it's pretty much the end of the season, but yeah, tomatoes are pretty much done. The peppers are actually coming in yellow finally. They seem to take forever to get yellow. We got a few yellow peppers. They're not the best looking, and they might also be for the birds. Beans, didn't care for them anyway, but yeah, pretty much I'm at the stage where I'm going to be dismantling this garden soon. Couple cukes left. Looks like we got 2 watermelons actually. One pretty big size and another kind of medium. Our catnip plant has really thrived. We just planted that from the corner of our yard, moved it out to the garden, and that little bush there, it's actually grown pretty well, so we want to have a good catnip plant for our kitties, of course. And then it kind of looks like the squirrels probably got into our melons, so our cantaloupes. These plants look quite dead. I'm kind of guessing my mom probably didn't water them. I didn't really ask her to. I just said maybe do it every now and then if it's like been dry for a few days. But oregano and the sage. This sage is just massive. I think we should just harvest it and sage our house every week or something. I don't know. But yeah, even the sunflowers, like, unfortunately, I think the birds or the squirrels got to them. They've all been beheaded. So I don't know if it's just because I wasn't out here as often as I usually am. Maybe she didn't really do much with the garden. It's all good, but yeah, I think our season has come to an end, unfortunately. But I'm actually okay with it. I'm not really interested in taking care of this. But the weed, okay. This guy is pretty good. I think Ghost is gonna harvest this in the next, like maybe today even, but maybe tomorrow or the next day. So he's gonna get what he gets. We'll come back with an update on those. We got the 2 big plants, looking pretty good, and I'll even go show the one in the pot. It's a much smaller plant. These ones are just about almost as tall as me, maybe about 5 feet tall. My dad brought his boat. It looks really not that good, but the plant that's probably rooted itself. Oh, this one I think is pretty much dead, so that might be the end of that for this pumpkin. And then this one in the middle seems to be looking decent towards here. It's come out of the garden, So this must have been growing quite a bit while we've been gone. Got quite a few flowers and a few small pumpkins I noticed on there last night, so we might still get a couple more, but I'm actually kind of unimpressed with how the pumpkins turned out this year. I really expected a bit more from them. But we got one, and then two. Those were growing before we left, so, you know, decent, small pumpkins really, but I'll let them grow for a bit longer. But yeah, not really the best turnout for the pumpkins, so I guess I won't be having my pumpkin patch at the end of the road this year when I had last year, like, I don't even know, like over 20 pumpkins. It was kind of worth setting some out and seeing if anyone wanted them. But yeah, that's the garden update. We got a couple sunflowers that haven't been chopped quite yet, but it's pretty much over. Okay, a small update on my bee hotel. I actually noticed this before we left, but I did see a wasp living in there last time, but maybe he's gone now. Some of these have been like capped, like you can see, and I don't think they looked like that before. I think they were all hollow. So I don't really know what it means, but does that mean that a bee is in there or that they've laid their babies in there? Like, what does that mean? Even this one, this bigger one, has been capped. So I don't really know what that means, but I'm hoping a bee has come and used this, like a few bees maybe. I don't really know. If anybody knows what that means, let me know, because I just put this here, it looked cute, and some bees maybe used it, so very interesting. Alright, last one. Yeah, this one, he said he's probably gonna harvest it, but end up putting it in the fire, because he's always had a dream of essentially just tossing a big batch of weed in the fire and smoking it in that way, just letting it aromatize into the air. So this plant is a heck of a lot smaller. It's very small, just an experiment growing it in a pot versus in the garden, but I mean, it still smells strong, and there's still some flower on there for sure, but this one might just end up being tossed to the fire just so he can live out his dream. So yeah, overall, happy to be home. It's totally different from, the previous 24 hours where we were walking around the big city of Istanbul. We did over 20,000 steps on our last day in Istanbul, but the whole trip, like, I want to say it was like pretty much at this point, if I add that 20,000 in, I think, yeah, over 150,000 steps on our whole trip. I kind of added it up to some extent, but definitely more than that. And it just feels like we came from one world to another. I'm calling it an ancient city because those streets, some of them have been there, and some of the ruins that still remain in the big city, and obviously all the amazing structures like the Hagia Sophia we saw on our last day have been there for centuries. And then here I am coming back to just like my village life, and I don't know, it's completely different worlds, and it's crazy to go from one to the other, but really enjoying the fresh air. Yeah, Stelly baby. She's pretty much bigger than any street cat that I saw. Stelly girl. Hi, baby. Hi, baby girl. She's happy to have us back, I hope. And Oliver. Hey, stay away from my door. Oh. Yeah, they haven't changed. Big street cats. So here are our 2 eggs from today, and then we have 2 dozen stacked here, and then another almost 18. There's 17 in there. There's a random one back here, so I guess there could be a full. That might have been from before we left, I don't know. Anyway, my mom separated the little ones into their own thing. So these are like baby eggs. You can see they're kind of smaller. So these are the ones she believes are from the youngins. I mean, some of them might not be. This one here is pretty big, but you can kind of see they're like speckly, a bit smaller. That one's almost like an odd shape. Yeah, I mean, compared to the regular eggs, you can see that's double a regular, and then a little bit of a baby egg, but yeah, I think that's their first eggs. So some of these are probably from the baby chickens. But that's how many eggs we got. I don't know how, I think it's like 4 dozen plus a bit more. Yeah. That's a lot of eggs that we got in the 16 days we were away.